Okay, so let's have a look at two very quick hacks for creating drum fills. The first one is going to give us something a little bit out there. So if your genre of music is more suited to slightly crazy fills, or you're just bored of the more traditional vibe, the first hack will help with that. And the second one will give you some really nice traditional, well played drum fills. So let's start out with hack number one, which is randomizing. Now, I've covered this a lot in other courses, so I'll keep this brief. I've got a drum rack. I've populated it with a bunch of toms that I've grabbed straight out the live library. They're completely different. So we're going to have some interesting results here. Obviously, you would populate the drum rack with toms or snares or percussion or whatever you like that actually is well chosen and fits your loop and your style of music. But I think it'd be fun to have something quite mental in here and see what we get. The way that we're going to trigger this is via a series of MIDI notes that run through the MIDI Random plugin. When a note comes in, there is a 79% chance that it will play one of 16 different pads at random. There's a 21% chance it will play the exact note that it receives. So we've got to draw some notes in for it to receive. Let's just turn it off a second. And let's see which one I'd like to play quite a lot. Maybe this one seems fairly reasonable. Perhaps that, the other one's a bit heavy. So let's draw some notes in. Let's start with 2/8, 4/16. So remember the pairs idea. And then we'll go 8th note triplet for a bit of fun and see what that creates. So I've effectively got two different half bar fills that we'll be able to choose from. So let's have a listen. Carnage. So we need to capture it and make it usable. I want to capture the MIDI. So I'm going to open up a MIDI track, and from the MIDI from drop down, I'll select our random toms. So now the MIDI that random plugin is spitting out, we'll be able to capture it. Record arm, and just click your little record button. Okay, that's enough madness. I'm confident we can get something usable out of that. I'm going to drag this MIDI file and put it onto the random toms track and turn the random off. I don't want to re-randomize what I've just captured. So let's make sure both of those are playing. Now, the drum loop here, I've just gone into this and chopped out some of the last kind of hits in there to make room for our toms to play. And let's have a listen to what we've got. That's not too bad. You could run with that straight away. Let's change this to a half bar grid so we can step through our pattern comfortably onto some triplets. I'm not too sure on these sounds actually. Let's put them maybe there. And this one sounds a bit rubbish. Okay, it's not too bad. Let's move on. As you can hear, we're coming up with pretty usable ideas straight away, and there's nothing to stop you just coming in, altering some of the notes around when you find something interesting, and away you go. As I said, if you'd put your own drums in that really fitted your genre, you'd end up with something really impressive very quickly. It feels like cheating, but it's not. It's a cool technique and it's your taste. If you find that killer loop using this technique, more power to you. So the second hack is quite simply to use pre-created MIDI files that have been created by real drummers. So they haven't programmed them in, they've played them and it's been converted accurately to MIDI. So a good example, if you've got Ableton Suite, is the Session Drums packs. So you've got Multi-Mic Studio Club. You can download them for free if you're a Suite user, and they have files like this. So you can hear the fill at the end there. This is a MIDI file. It comes with a drum rack with all the original sounds in. So if you want that really realistic vibe, you've got the actual kit sampled as well. And you can just drag that into Live and use those MIDI files as you see fit in your own tracks. Now, outside of this, there are other pieces of software. You have to check them out because I don't own them, but I believe they come with MIDI files, things like Slate drums. There is F Expansion. I think it's called BDF. I know there are a host of other packs that contain these amazing MIDI files. So if you make breaks or another genre, house genre perhaps, where you really want that realistic vibe, check out those packs because, you know, you really need to know what you're doing inside out to create feels as good as that. And chances are you don't. So just use ones that professionals have already programmed. Definitely the quickest way to get there. So they are two different hacks. If you didn't like the idea of programming and rolling your own, these will get you up and running very, very quickly.